Hey everyone, and we're live. I just wanted to come back on here, and we did record a live stream earlier. There were some issues with the sound, so I'm going to go back over this. Uh, Basically, our monthly Tea and Trends report. So, welcome to Tea and Trends. Valerie Browning came by earlier, and we recorded some stuff from her, so that's going to come later. But right now, I just basically wanted to come on and talk you guys through the fall 2025 Med Spa Marketing Trends Report. So what we're going to do with this is we're taking online data. So think about everything that everybody's talking about online. So we're talking about X, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all these places that people are talking about treatments. And what I do is I use a really specialized AI software to go pull information in and basically analyze, like, what do people want? It's not just what they're talking about, but what kind of content are they engaging with? So we're going to go into the strategy. You're going to be able to use this monthly report to do all of your planning for the next month's marketing. So I'm going to tell you exactly which trends are trending up, which treatments are trending up. So like who's looking for what and what they're trying to solve, and then the content that's actually performing the best in your market. So this report's basically going to give you everything you need to do your own social media or to hand off to your marketing team, whether they're internal or an external agency. You're going to be able to tell them exactly what content to create, how to create it, what's working based on the market and what people are wanting. So welcome again. I'm just giving people time to join here, but let's go ahead and dive into this trend report. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. We will be offering this monthly. We will be doing this webinar monthly, so you'll get the report as part of our subscription. And then once a month, we'll hop on here, go live. You guys can join and ask any questions. We really want to understand what your questions are once you kind of understand the capability and what we're going to be providing you with. So what questions can we answer for you? And again, we will be providing a webinar and live support as part of our monthly subscription. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and share my this report, share my screen. All righty. Look at this report. Look at this gorgeous landing page. Basically, what we've got here is it's fall 2025. And what I did is I looked back at what people were talking about over the summer, and then heading into September, like what are they talking about? So you can see here, I'm going to zoom in a bit so you guys can get a better view of this. But you can see that Pinterest is this yellow line, Instagram is pink, and then YouTube is green. So let's focus on those colors. Pinterest, this is engagement. Engagement means people liking, commenting, sharing, saving. It kind of is an indicator of what's resonating with your consumers or with potential clients, that kind of thing. Over the summer, it was really over-indexing in people being on Pinterest, and specifically kind of the aesthetics of your med spa, so to speak. So like it's basically like treatment rooms. The spaces where you're getting the treatments, those are what were trending. People really wanting to know, like, okay, if I go get a hydrofacial, what's the room look like? What's the vibe? And so there was a whole lot of content about that. And then, I assume that would have sustained because it's an ongoing thing. Like people want to see photos of your med spa. But as you can see, as we went into August, that Pinterest engagement really plummeted. And we saw kind of a low lull period in August, which we can assume is a back to school time. People aren't really kind of shopping for those med spa things per se. So the engagement kind of dropped. And now we're kind of seeing an uptick in these engagements on long form video on YouTube. So if you think about the mind of your consumer, over the summer, maybe they're looking for more of the experiences. They kind of want to treat themselves, that kind of vibe. Then as you go into August, maybe it's back to school. So maybe they aren't really engaging in content. And we're going to talk about what you can do during those times. And then as it goes into the winter months and we're heading into fall, we're seeing an uptick in those longer form videos that are instructional or analytical or show like the technology behind the treatments, or even sort of the analysis of like celebrity faces. Like what are people getting done? What are celebrities getting done? What are they doing well? What are they not doing well? So really those long form videos are starting to kind of play really well into fall. And we kind of cut this off right around the end of September. The October report will drop by Friday of this week for those who want to get the updated data. But as you can see here, the point being, these trends really do change month by month, depending on what's going on in the market. So in the October report, we're already seeing people talking about the change to the legality of who can give IV therapy. You have to have a licensed person to do that. It used to be that you could be trained and certified to do it. But those things have changed. Those rules have changed. There's been some articles dropped about microneedling and radio frequency and the changes in kind of sentiment online, or how to kind of combat those messages that come out. So every single month we're seeing shifts and changes in the market based on what information's floating around, what people are reacting to. So again, these monthly reports are going to make you so smart about how to talk to clients and how to win more business. So as we go through this, I'm going to go ahead and keep scrolling through, but this first section is just high level. What are we seeing? Then we dive really into specifics about what to post, what content to post, what your content should look like by platform. So what we're seeing this season is basically an overall health and wellness message that's resonating. People are really leaning into holistic health. So that's gut health. How does your gut affect your skin on your face? How does your diet? How does your sleep? Just the overall, not just aesthetically, about, the looks, but it's about how you feel from the inside out. So there's a lot of uptick in, IV therapy interest. Good health is going to give you good skin. So essentially just overall people are seeing med spa and aesthetics treatments as part of their overall self-care. And that's a really important shift from, in the past, it maybe was seen a little bit more of a medical, treatment. So we're shifting from medical to more like luxury, if you want to think about it that way. So these are the treatments that we saw. Again, an overwhelming interest in like non-surgical facelifts, for example, holistic integration, technology-aided customization. And over July, we saw a specific set of things trending. Now we're seeing this change. Again, these are monthly changes. In September, we saw a rise in microneedling, interest in microneedling, pedio thread lifts, IV therapy, and vitamin drips, and Botox. And then these are kind of the themes around those four treatments: confidence and mental well-being, holistic integration, and customer trust. Now let's dive a little bit more into detail about how to use these trends to drive your content. So what we're seeing is top engaged social media content being short form videos like those Reels and TikTok. Before and after, nothing new there. But user-generated content, UGC, that's not, I know that's a fancy term, but what we're talking about is your client walks out, they feel really good about themselves, they snap a selfie and they tag you. User generated content is the top performing category this month. So outperforming even the studio, those fancy shots with like the lighting and your camera and all of that. The UGC or your client generated content is really what's performing. So again, you can focus on things like offering a discount if they tag you in a selfie when they leave, that kind of thing. And then we saw in September National Acne Positivity Day on September 1st, Eczema Week, September 15th to the 21st. Those are both pretty important, trends that you can jump on. So if you're seeing, when you're planning your content, knowing that these days are going to happen means that you can join when those things uptick, when people are talking about those things, you can join that conversation and say like, hey, here's some things that we're seeing work for this. So those hashtags are going to put you in these conversations that you probably don't even know exist. How many of you actually knew that it was National Acne Positivity Day? I didn't even know there was one of those, but there is. And it trended, people were talking about it. And so you really want to get as specific as you can. So some people might look at this list of hashtags, like hashtag med spa. There was 8.7 thousand posts of hashtag med spa. That doesn't mean you need to tag med spa. What that means is it's a bit of a saturated market. It's not a negative to tag it, but we really want to be specific about the treatments, because what you see down here, like hydrofacial, filler, this tells you what people are posting, but it also tells you how saturated saturated meaning if there's so many posts with that hashtag, yours is going to get lost. So what we really want to do is for every post, make sure that you're kind of looking in the lower number of hashtags, but like trending upwards. So that's kind of what we're looking at over month is kind of, upticks in certain hashtags popping. And that tells us, oh, wait, this is hot, so let's lean in. So anyways, that's kind of a look at how to take advantage of the hashtags, how to use these trends to, drive your content so that it's landing. Okay, let's dive a little bit more into detail here. So microneedling, remember those top 4 trending treatments that are trending this month. Microneedling is one of the top trends. And when we say microneedling is trending in the engagement, what kinds of posts, like which posts are actually drawing people in to want to engage with that content? So we take like, say there's like 3,000 posts that mention out there in September that mention microneedling or radio frequency. What we'll do is we'll filter and we'll look at like, what are the most engaged? What of the posts that people are commenting, liking, sharing, saving, of those top engaged posts, what are the things that we're seeing that those posts have in common? So for the top 50, I'm seeing, these are the things that consistently drove higher engagement. And what you're going to get in this report is exactly that. Like, hey, if you're going to be focused on microneedling, here's how to post about microneedling. And as we see down here with PDO thread lifts, if you're posting about PDO thread lifts, the content style has to change. What performs well is different. So people, again, so let me take a step back. I know I'm kind of talking fast. I just had a lot of coffee. Think about it like you basically need to understand the mind of your customer and how they're coming at this. So if they're on YouTube or TikTok or Google or ChatGPT, they're coming at it from the problem that they're trying to solve. They might not even know what, it's not like they know what microneedling is or does. They're looking for like what, hey, I've got, skin, uneven skin tone or, acne or anything like that. They're going to say, what are the treatments for this? And then ChatGPT is going to say, microneedling is a potential, solution for this problem. Then they're going to look for microneedling. So what you want is your content to stand alone, right? No one's going to be like, I'm going to go to this med spa and I'm going to look at every service they have. When people come, they're looking for the specific treatment, right? So that's why each treatment is going to have a slightly different content style that works for that treatment based on how your people are coming. So a lot of times we're in the weeds with our own businesses because we're so focused on like our services and what we're bringing. But what we really want is to serve the customer at the point of entry of curiosity, right? So what you want is your content, your micro needling content to be ready for those people out there looking for, evening out their skin, that kind of thing. That was a big spiel. But so for microneedling, we really want to focus on the treatments. So it's treating for acne scars and skin rejuvenation are the things that people are looking for to fix. That's the problem that they're looking to fix. People are really interested in like the celebrities that have non-invasive approaches to beauty. So being like, hey, in this one, it was Alicia Silverstone. What has she had done, and here's how we would achieve that same look that we're guessing that she's had done. And then client transformations, of course, is always going to play really well, but there's some we're seeing in terms of lighting, making sure it's not harsh lighting, making sure it's really soft, natural lighting. So just kind of making sure in your before and afters with microneedling, you really see fresh skin and not like a harsh, flash bulb or something like that. PDO thread lifts, very, very clear with PDO thread lifts that what works in terms of content is a practitioner who is basically either a voiceover or they're talking you through it, but it's instructional. It's focused on the non-surgical facelift. And then those providers, your providers and your content creators are going to be your experts in your spa or in your practice. And so PDO thread lifts is just something that, again, people are looking at. What is it? What's going to happen? Microneedling, it's a little bit more of something that people are familiar with, but no one understands what happens during thread lifts. So these instructional videos are playing really well for those types of posts. All right. The next category that was trending this month was IV therapy and B12 shots. So for this, what we saw is, again, focus on that holistic health from the inside out, beauty from the inside out, and then highlight photos of your space. And the focus is relaxation and calm. So when people are thinking IV therapy and B12, what they really want to see is these beautiful settings. And if you're thinking about going from summer into fall, people want to be, it's more of like an inside time. And so people want to see like spaces that are part natural light, but partly just like, a soft lighting a situation. Oftentimes people are holding something like a drink. So just the idea that they're going to be able to just sit and, receive this infusion and feel relaxed and calm and even like weighted on a little bit. So wrapped in a robe. So that is what's playing really well for your IV therapy and your B12 shots, is really focused on the vibes, the ambiance of your space. And then finally, Botox, not surprising. But what is really unique about what's trending in Botox is essentially, so first of all, parties. So like events and the demos. So the types of demos for the PDO thread lifts, for example, was a really detailed instructional video with a practitioner treating a client. Botox, it was like parties, like compilation of like a demo where people are kind of cheersing and having champagne, and then someone's getting treated while someone's talking to the other people in the room. We saw several of those perform really well. Secondly, other treatments for Botox, we're all familiar with the kind of, eyebrow wrinkles, but did you know that you can do Botox for platysmal bands? So when we do this and it pulls our cheeks down here, Botox in these platysmal bands relax that pull and keep your face looking, more lifted and youthful. those are the kinds of things that are trending right now. And this one is a lip flip. So a lip flip is treatment for a gummy smile. So again, if you're thinking about people who are out looking to solve the problem and you're thinking about it from that standpoint, if I've got a gummy smile and I'm Googling, like, how can I, what treatments are available to me? Botox is, and a lip flip is a really simple way of doing it. So Botox, or a lip flip, is Botox in this upper lip area that relaxes it down so that you can see less of the gum when you smile. So these are things that people are looking to solve. So this post that featured lip flip for no more gummy smile performed really well, like 1,200 likes, and these are also these med spas that I'm using, or these example content. These aren't monster med spas that are in, Dubai that everyone follows. These are all community city focused med spas. And then finally, seasonal. So again, with Botox, as we move into autumn, winter, kind of selling those packages. And this is where I wanted to focus on, we saw that dip in August of people engaging. That's where you want to kind of lean into buy now, use later packaging. So what you want is to advertise, hey, we're doing a Botox special as we're moving from your skin from summer and all the sun into like winter, like, let's get you ready for the holidays. That's where you want to kind of offer them packages that they can then use after the kids are back to school and anything else that they have going on. All right. So TikTok is a special subject right now, or a special data set. It's treated a little bit differently because of the software that we use. It pulls in, basically they have all these agreements to get all of the content pulled in from Instagram and from X/Twitter, and all this kind of stuff. Well, TikTok is not yet plugged in to just get that data directly, but what they do have is trending, and I can dive into those, but what I really want to focus on is in the beauty trends that we're seeing. If we zoom in, this is just beauty trends, right? K-beauty. Now, over the summer, anything Korean skincare is a beauty standard globally right now. In Europe, like in Germany, it's just a foregone conclusion that you're going to buy your skincare from a Korean brand. That's not really yet mature in this market in the States, on the state side. But we are seeing that everything K-beauty is trending upward. Anything that is associated with a K-pop artist. So Sephora's just launched a brand partnership with a K-pop star. So watch for Korean beauty to be blowing up and making sure that you're taking advantage of tagging everything that you have with or everything that you post. So for example, the Korean glass skin was a trend over the summer, big time. It was everywhere. And coming into autumn, into the fall, we're seeing that kind of reside a little. We are still seeing K-beauty here. And then we're seeing glowing skin, esthetician, anti-aging. So again, if you look at these beauty trends, hyperpigmentation, you're seeing it from the viewpoint of the client who's looking to solve something, right? So again, your hashtags should really align with what you're fixing, what your treatments are addressing: anti-aging, hyperpigmentation, that kind of thing. So again, watch for K-beauty, watch the space. I get new trends for K-beauty, Korean beauty every single month. But the rest of these kind of show you what trends people are looking to solve, like what kind of beauty treatments people are looking for. All right. So in conclusion, there's some like content strategies in general just to keep in mind and to make sure that you're using on the regular. So post videos both on Instagram and YouTube, those long form instructional videos, as again, kind of coming inside and cozying up and ready to educate themselves. Let's focus on those videos. During the month of August, again, there's a dip in engagement and activity. So what you want to do is focus on kind of like recovering from summer skin, hydration, massage, those kinds of things. As you know, between now and Christmas, there's going to be all kinds of opportunities to buy those packages, to offer those packages to people. So again, we're thinking from the standpoint of people transitioning right now, because again, this data is through the end of September. But I'm really excited to release the October one to see kind of like how this trend changes again, because I am seeing already new things that people are starting to think about and look at. For YouTube content, focus on instructional videos, and that's TikTok as well. So any of your video platforms, like those celebrities, you can always tag a celebrity. Like people are really interested. There's a lot of really interesting face transformations, let's say, in Hollywood right now. So that's kind of something that people are really interested in right now. So it's a perfect time to kind of do a little celebrity analysis. And then, of course, motivating your clients to create user-generated content. That's their selfie in the car, like, hey, just left my med spa appointment. Look at my skin. It's amazing, or whatever. Those are your testimonials. Whatever you want to offer your clients in exchange for that selfie content is highly recommended. Okay. Now, Valerie was here earlier, and we did have a problem with our sound, and she had to leave. So I'm going to go ahead and record this, and I will do my best to share with you what Valerie said. But I can't wait to have her back. We got so much more content that we're excited to share. Anyways, your data, what that means is I am sharing with you the online trend data so that you can make your plan your social and content strategies. Valerie's expertise is internal data. So using what you already have in your hands today to turn those into new bookings and expanding bookings and getting those upsells going. So first of all, what Valerie and I do that's the same as we look for patterns. So what she does is look in patterns and client history. So she has, whether you're on whatever med spa app you use for all of your bookings, you should be able to export that data into Excel and look at it. So that's step one. Look for ways to download client data based on your platform. If you have questions by platform, please let us know in the comments. We'll do that research for you and help you out. But basically, you're wanting to download it and then look at kind of so for example, GLP-1s are so hot right now. Lots of people are on this weight loss drug. So around month 3 or 4, people are starting to see big changes in that weight loss, which means maybe they're seeing changes in their skin. Maybe they're seeing some loose skin here and there. That's where about 90 days after someone receives a GLP-1 treatment, then you want to start offering them other maintenance, IV therapy, things that are going to keep them feeling good while they're making their weight loss transformation. So what you want to do is marry up treatments with potential follow-ups that you can offer them. And then you text them and say, hey, you're on month 3 of your GLP-1. We hope you're doing great. If you're noticing, any changes to your skin, please come in. We'd be happy to give you a consultation, that kind of thing. Another thing that's very common is to use like these Allē or some of these beauty membership services to get a discount. So typically what we do, if I'm coming to the counter at the end and they say, oh, you have $20 of Allē, would you like to apply that to your service? Well, we always say yes, right? It's kind of what they're offering. So that's what we take, and we'll take a discount. However, what we're trying to say is instead of discounting current services, how about adding a new service at a discount? So what you're saying is you have $20. We recommend, you just got Botox. We recommend the skincare line for maintenance in between your Botox appointments. It really helps maintain your Botox and keep your skin really good. Would you like to apply that $20 toward that purchase? So instead of getting a $50 skincare, you're going to get it for 30, and that's a big discount when it comes to merch. So again, kind of shifting your thinking away from discounting their current service and applying added value to additional services or products. Next is your referral program. So, and by the way, Valerie's got a whole enormous amounts of knowledge on top of these three. We just kind of narrowed it down to three that we think are really useful right now. So referral, if you have a good referral program, use it. Make sure you're advertising it. Make sure, again, that user generated or like referrals, either in a selfie or a selfie video, or people actually just going and telling their friends, hey, come in. Those are gold. So the more you can motivate your clients to bring their friends in, the better. So whatever that offering looks like for you and whatever, discount you want to offer, lean into those referrals and that referral service. Make sure that there's visible signage so people know that they can refer people and get, discounts or whatever the offering is. Just really lean into those referrals. So that's kind of how to use some of that internal content. Again, Valerie said it so much better than me, and I am so sorry that it's our first Tea and Trends. So we're going to be making lots of changes. We're going to be playing with different times of the day and that kind of stuff. But today, the last minute, there was a glitch in the microphone and the audio didn't work. So very soon we'll be bringing Valerie back, and she'll be sharing enormous amounts of knowledge, and we'll be able to, pick her brain a little bit more in addition to these three. But I thought these three were really excellent and easy, free things for you to do now. So this report, it's free, this version. We offer going forward a subscription service. Everything, all of our package, all of our pricing is on our website, and you can buy directly through our website. So if you want to go download this report, you will get this webinar, access to this webinar. This is all free and public, but going forward, so for next month's data, starting in October, that will be available by subscription, and you can do monthly, you can do yearly. There's discounts if you want to do a year. So I think it's basically $6,000 if you're paying monthly over a year, but if you sign up for the full year, you only pay $5,000, and you can pay that over the year or all up front. There's so many different options of payment methods. So anyways, go check out our website and you can see exactly how much things are going to cost. You can check out right there on the website. No need to reach out to us and go through a whole bunch of steps. You can really self-serve that. So that's exciting. So what you'll get at the end of every single report is do this, like we show you the whys and the hows and the examples of where we get it. But at the end of the day, we're just going to say, do this month. So at this webinar and the new reports are going to drop right around the middle of each month, so that you have a full 2 weeks to plan your content for the following month based on the trends. So we give you plenty of lead time to actually activate against this content and this information. So we're going to tell you, post this on Instagram and hashtag it with this. So it's going to be so simple, so easy for you to do your own marketing, and not have to really rely on an agency if you don't want to, or give this directly to your agency and they know exactly what works. We do see a huge difference in social media posts that use this method. So, I've done this before for different events and different brands where I'm creating content and I go out and I look at what's trending. I look at down to the detail of like the lighting, the camera angles, those kinds of things. And when I use these trends, my posts perform better. It's just how it works. So we basically want to give you guys everything you need. The cheat book. This is the cheat codes. So this is some of the other things that we provide. It's all on our website. I'm going to stop sharing now, and we can wrap this call. But I really just want to stress, reach out if you have any questions, any follow-up, any how to use this, or hey, could you guys do this? Any ideas you have or what you would like to see from us, we can do that. We're happy to do that. So reach out, comments, email. You can email me, Sherry at duskbrandstudio.com. It's very simple. And we really hope to see you in future webinars. This has been, again, our very first Tea and Trends. It's going to evolve. So we would love to hear what you think. And we will be dropping our October report again on Friday. And then we will be scheduling the next Tea and Trends in December so you can jump on and get your content planned out. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we will talk to you and see you at the next Tea and Trends. Thanks, everyone.